everyone, and welcome to Fireside Chat with Executive Director Shabranae Patton of Taking Back Ourselves. I have with us a new participant today, Dr. Chantrelle Varnado-Johnson. I'm sorry, let me make sure I said that right because I don't want to be disrespectful. Dr. Chantrelle Varnado-Johnson. Welcome, and it's so happy to have you today.
Thank you so much for inviting me, Shabranae.
Yes, of course. I'm so happy we got the opportunity to just kind of sit and chat. You have actually been with TBO for a little bit. So let's go ahead and introduce, just with starting with our very first question. How long have you been a participant in the Weekends of Recovery or the Weekends of Healing with TBO?
Okay, great. Well, I'll say this. What has really worked out for me was during the multiple pandemics, being able to find an inclusive space that was going to also help with my wellness and recovery journey. So in fall of 2020, I had received information about TBO, and I started a process of reaching out to the organizers. And then in spring of 2021, I participated in my first virtual mini Weekend of Recovery. And then in that summer, I actually participated in my first on-site Weekend of Healing. And it was just so beautiful to participate in all the different events. And this was like something that was definitely going to help me on my path.
Awesome. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
So knowing that you have both experienced the virtual as well as in person, what do you say you enjoyed the most about one of these weekends?
Believe it or not, what I've enjoyed the most was being able to be in person. Like to be able to experience the touch. That was made sure I checked in with other survivors about what their boundaries are, and just being able to like fellowship, to be surrounded by not only the facilitators but other survivors, thrivers who've had those particular experiences, and for me to see members of various different marginalized communities. And that was something that was beyond remarkable.
I can imagine.
Mm-hmm.
That is just having that connectability.
Yes.
It just makes things so much different, so much more different than being, virtual all the time, where there's a screen separating us. So having the opportunity to really connect, I love that that's your enjoyment moment. That's amazing.
Yes.
How has TBO helped you along your healing and recovery journey?
Okay, I'll definitely say this. TBO has definitely had a significant impact on my healing and recovery journey. Let's say, for example, I really benefited from the Saturday art groups. And what helped was that I got to meet some of those members in the virtual mini week.
Looks like we cut out a little bit.
With eroding, some of the frostiness, and just being able to have that collective. What else worked for me was one of the participants uses oh goodness, like when I think about the sound and just being able to feel the vibrations. Mm-hmm. And I remember even like with the crystals and cards, I'm trying to be very careful not to say names. That's why I was like,
yep. Nope, I got it.
Yeah. And so those were, like some things that stood out for me. And to be able to use some of the things that are, like notable to my own racial and ethnic communities, and to have facilitators who were familiarized and well-versed with engaging in culturally competent practices, and also being able to use appropriate terminology. That was something that also helped with the journey, Whereas this was the first time I was able to tell my story uninterrupted, was via TBO. Whereas other times I had folks telling me, no, this is what your narrative is. Like, you're either going to focus on the historical stuff or you're going to focus on the stuff that is present. And here, I was able to actually have the counter storytelling. And that was the first time, someone wasn't telling me that I'm experiencing whatever factors that I'm having, and not necessarily discrediting, gaslighting, or engaging in white supremacist practices. So that was something else that stood out for me.
I love that. That is so important, that all people have a space of comfort within TBO, but to know that outside of TBO, we struggle as people of color in certain different ways. And so to know that you were able to find a place of peace within TBO is amazing. And I love that. That is definitely a goal that we want to continue.
Mm-hmm.
So for my very last question, if you were to give advice to someone who's on the fence about attending one of our weekends, what would it be?
Okay. If someone was on the fence, I would just tell them to trust in the process. In addition to that, if you want to be kind to yourself, if you want to be able to fully embrace your recovery process and to take that first step in your healing journey, then give TBO a try.
I love that. I love that. There are so many people who will see these videos and they'll see our newsletters and all of our social media presence and all of that stuff. And they will wonder, like, what am I getting myself into? They'll wonder, like, is this right for me? So having someone who's actually been through the process, someone who's actually participated in the weekends of recovery, to be able to come out and say, give it a try. Like, this is definitely something you should try to do. Knowing that it's going to help you on your recovery journey, like, that's going to be important for so many people who are afraid, to be completely honest with you, like afraid to say something, afraid to take that next step to start their recovery journey. So I really appreciate you being able to come on and just give your experience as a participant and an alumni of TBO. I'm really grateful for having you, Chantrelle.
Thank you.
All right. So, guys, Temescal Canyon, it's coming up. It's starting June 10th through 11th. Be sure to grab your tickets. We have a short amount of scholarships left over. So if you're trying to get your scholarship paperwork in, please go ahead and do so. Outside of that, can't wait to see you guys on the next one. Have a great day.
All right.